Hi everyone, Peter Jennings here with the Redline Real Estate Group, professional realtor for the last 5.5 years, and I'm sitting here with my guest today, Greg Foss, professional mortgage line broker, and we're here to discuss the mortgage rule changes that are coming January 1st, 2018. So the reason we're doing this is because there's a lot of misinformation out there and a lot of confusion, guys. So we're gonna make it simple for you, for the buyers, the sellers, and everyone in between. So let's do this. Greg, thank you so much for joining me today.
You bet, Peter. My pleasure.
Can you just tell our guests real quick who you are and what you're about and what you do for everyone?
Absolutely, yeah. I've been in real estate in some capacity for almost 10 years now. And I was building homes before, selling homes, renovating homes. And then I got into really investigating what the financial world was like, and especially mortgages. Had family members in the industry. Got into it, I worked for the big banks. I started to talk to friends that were in the mortgage brokerage industry, and I realized how far and how deep this industry went. And I felt like I wasn't quite doing my clients a justice as saying, okay, here's that one product. When there's this whole, almost like I use the analogy like a buffet.
Okay.
Like there's this buffet of lenders. Why would you just go for the one main course?
Right.
Why not go and let's see exactly what would be the best fit for you? And so I got my mortgage license about 4 years ago. And so I've been in mortgages 5 years, 4 years as a broker, and I've been loving it ever since. Yeah, really what really fires me up about it is seeing people's plans. They tell me, okay, I sit down with them first and say, why are you buying a home?
Right.
And I can kind of see that from like 50,000 feet, from that high level look. And then we kind of filter it down and I can see exactly where we need to be putting that person, and it's pretty neat to see that end result.
That's great.
Them in a home.
So you're helping a lot of people achieve the goals that they need with options. Because that's it, a lot of people don't think they have the options when they really do, and that's what you ultimately provide for everyone.
Absolutely, yeah. It's like, it's not sexy, right? Like mortgages, you get into it and people are like, well, also they go look for a home. It's like, well, that's exciting. And then it's like, well, now I need a mortgage. And it's like, oh, like their excitement level drops. And I think when people start to sit down with me, they realize, well, this can be exciting. Like,
right.
How cool would it be if you paid off your mortgage 5 years faster, 10 years faster, and then you're retired faster, or you're doing that life goal even quicker, and they're like, wow, I didn't realize that could be so easy. And
right, so you provide options, you make it easy, and you help people achieve their goals in real estate.
Absolutely.
Just like we do at Redline. That's awesome.
Yep.
Okay, so let's get into this, okay? Because this is what everyone wants to talk about. Everyone's talking about it in the industries everywhere. Mm-hmm. So, mortgage rule changes, January 1st, 2018. Can you break down what those changes are really quick for us?
Sure, you bet. Real simple. Everybody that is buying a home has to qualify at a higher rate. Basically, at this time today, you'd be qualifying at 4.99. So that was actually introduced to people with less than 20% down a year ago.
Right.
And now they're saying everybody.
Yeah. Why is that?
The government really, their concern is debt. They don't want to see a catastrophic event of where people have to go and requalify for a mortgage or get into a higher interest rate and they can't handle it.
Okay.
And there's a lot of different opinions about that. And right or wrong, I'm not sure, but it is, maybe it's more responsible, making sure they can handle that.
Yeah, so it's almost like really putting the safety net up for everyone to almost not have broken mortgages and have a state of disaster financially for the country.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
But here's the things, whether you have the opinion you like it or not, facts are facts, and these changes are happening. It's gonna happen whether you like it or not. So let's discuss buyers real quick. How does this affect buyers, and what can buyers do to really secure something right now?
Mm-hmm. The best advice is to talk to your bank or to your broker and just make sure, where are you at? Did you have that conversation already? Can I qualify at that higher posted rate? And make sure that you're going to be set up for that in case you're looking into the new year. But on the flip side, if you do decide to buy now, if you have a live accepted offer before January 1st, then the old rules apply.
Okay.
So for example, you could qualify at, say, a low 3% rate instead of the 4.99 rate.
Okay.
That can make a big difference.
That's a huge difference, right? So to clarify and make that easy for everyone, if I get pre-approved right now, I cannot take that pre-approval into January 1st. I would have to put an offer on that house, if you will.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
But to clarify for everyone at home, that doesn't mean you have to move in by January 1st, okay? This is where I think people get confused as well, is that it's not January 1st. You can find that perfect home. We're not gonna lose buying power, and you can make that January 15th, February. You're gonna work with whoever you need to, but there are those options there, guys. You don't have to rush really moving into the house. You just maybe have to make a decision sooner than later. Yeah. Discussing the buying power, like, let's break that down. What are we losing? Like, if you're pre-approved for, let's use easy numbers, if you're pre-approved for $400,000 right now, what does that look like as of January 1st if you don't move forward?
I guess the simplest number is you'd be losing potentially 20% of your buying power.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that's a chunk.
It's a big chunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So you could be losing, like, if you start breaking it down, maybe is that a new neighborhood? Is that a different? Is that going from a home to a townhome?
Right.
Townhome to condo.
Yeah.
Condo to what?
Yeah.
What are we looking at?
Totally. So yeah, it just a lot of variables in there if you're not prepared.
That's right. And going through it in October of the last year, we did see people affected by it, and they thought, well, no, we're fine, and there's only so much you can do. Say, let's get in, let's talk about this, and yeah, they're out making offers and saying, well, look, now it's less.
Yeah.
And that could be devastating.
Definitely. So let's move on to sellers then. How is this really going to impact sellers? Because I know right now it's typically a slower season with the winter months, which our market report's not saying that based on these mortgage changes, but what should sellers be aware of if they were considering waiting for the new year?
That would be, again, the conversation, when they're looking at the new home, are they qualified for that new home
Right.
that they thought before? Are they missing out on a potential amount of buyers right now that could be interested in their home? So in my end, I can't speak for everyone, but on my end, I am getting a new wave of people coming in saying, hey, I want to make sure, can I qualify? Can I go buy now? And they are starting to hit that market, I think, faster than what they expected because of these rule changes.
Yeah, and again, it changes everything of what that next house would look like, area, neighborhood, and these are the things we always plan ahead of time, but we don't plan the numbers. We don't plan the actual actions, right? It's, we know we're going to move to this neighborhood. We know we want this house. That's the next step. But we're really, with these changes, it's really kind of pushing people against the wall to make a decision if they need to.
Absolutely, and there's been incremental rules changes. It seems like almost every year, maybe not. But say someone say
Just feels that way.
It feels like it, right? It's just the government keeps kind of coming in and making these changes. So we have, let's say someone bought their home. Most people go for a 5-year term mortgage, right or wrong. That's what usually the Canadians pick. So that's 2012. What people were experiencing in 2012 is phenomenally different than what we need to do now. So they come into me saying, well, when I got my mortgage last time, it was this. And I'm like, well, a lot has changed. Like how they take credit card payments. What do they use as credit ratings?
Right.
What do we have to qualify for where we're at now? And so these big changes where we have to kind of slowly introduce people back into this new world that we're in. Yeah. So it's very important to have that conversation.
Thanks for that, Greg. Let's move on. And so buyers and sellers is what everyone feels that the mortgage rule changes are going to affect or who they're going to affect. But that's really not the case, is it? There is kind of this and everyone in between. Let's talk about that a bit more.
Sure. The biggest, not the biggest, but one of the effects would be refinancing. And on that component, there's two people that usually are refinancing when people want to take out equity to do maybe home renovations. Now we look at the new qualification rules. Okay, well, they had this dream in mind. They went to visit their bank and they say, well, we could probably take out this amount. Now has that dropped 20%?
Right.
So let's think about $100,000, 20%, that's now you're at 80.
Yeah.
What difference does that make in your renovations?
Yeah.
Or people that are looking to invest. People are taking out their equity and they want to go and take out, buy a new home for an investment. Now you're taking out, now that down payment's changed. Now is that a new home? Is that a new neighborhood? Could be a game changer.
Yeah, so it really affects everyone depending what they want to do with the equity of their homes and if they own real estate right now.
It could.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and especially if you are thinking of investing, because wink, wink, guys, that buyers are hot right now and they don't want to lose 20% of the power, right? So why wouldn't you consider getting more of that equity out if you are considering those rental properties or whatever that looks like for the consumer out there, which again is something that we can always help you with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it seems like the more that the government is getting involved in wanting to change these rules, things are starting to get tighter. When banks are looking at reviewing applications, it isn't like it was 2 years ago, like anything. But getting into investing now, like is it going to get any looser? Are these policies going to get any better? Or I should say looser? Probably not.
Yeah.
Right? It's probably only going to go the other way.
It looks like it's only going to get harder from here, right?
Right. Yeah. So that's something that we want to, tell people is that, well, why not now?
Yeah.
This might be the right time.
Yeah. Well, and that being said, even though it might be the right time, give us some reasonable, quick action steps that we could take if we're thinking about getting pre-approved. We are pre-approved, but maybe want to have a better option, like you said, or we're thinking about refinancing. How can we contact you? What should we do?
Sure. People think that it's a convoluted, complicated process, and it is not. It's a quick conversation.
Yeah.
And that's how I start.
5-10 minutes?
5-10 minutes. That's how I start it. And I just want to know what you want.
Okay.
And we just figure that out. And then I say, look, at our next steps, a quick application. Can we do that over the phone? Can we do it online? Can we meet in person? Whatever that comfort level is. And right there, I'll know that snapshot, that picture, and we put a plan in place. And then we know exactly what we need to do.
That sounds ridiculously easy.
It is so simple.
Okay, so even though these changes are a little scary, we don't have to be scared about contacting our mortgage people, because that's what you're here for. You're here to help make it easy for everyone.
Exactly. Yeah.
Great.
Make it easy. Make it simple.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining me, Greg.
You bet. Thanks, Peter.
With these changes coming, guys, what we're really trying to say is don't be scared. We're here to help you, all right? So feel free to reach out to myself or Greg with the mortgage line or anyone with the Red Line Real Estate crew. We're always happy to help and put you in contact with the right people, because it's all about those options, guys. So thanks for joining us, and please feel free to reach out to any of us if you need anything.